Hi friends, 𝗗𝗓𝗦 here. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble the cake toppers for my Daisy Pop collection. So I have the Welcome Baby version of the cake topper open in Silhouette Studio. Of course, this applies to whichever software and version of the design that you're using. I just want to take a minute to go over the layout of the design really quick so that you can get this into your software and cut it easily. I'm going to come over here and open my layers panel so you can see the layers that we have here. We have a back piece, 3 front pieces, and then our text piece. So let me pull this apart so I can show you what's going on here. Our very top piece is our text. Then we have a white banner piece. And then we have an orange flower piece with the center cut out, and then a yellow back piece that gives us the center of the flower. And then we have the back piece here, which is what we're going to sandwich the stick for the cake topper between. So it's going to be this back piece and this yellow piece that we're sandwiching it between. And of course you can cut this back piece out of whatever color you want. So in Silhouette, I like to drag everything over to the left and then organize what I'm cutting by color. And then once I have a piece cut, I will drag that over to the right so that I know that I've already done it, and then I can bring over the next set of colors. One note about the text in this design. You can cut this out of paper. That's what I did, and you'll see that in the assembly. It is very small and has some thin pieces. I recommend using high quality cardstock and a clean blade. Make sure you get good cut settings. A great way to make sure this comes out nicely is to slow down the cut as well. And it is a little bit fiddly, but it can be done. It ends up being very beautiful and delicate. Of course, if you don't want to mess with the cardstock, you could do this as a print and cut, or cut it out of adhesive vinyl. So I have the Happy Birthday one assembled already here. As you can see, I've used a paper cake pop stick to hold the cake topper, and then I've got some foam to pop a little space in between here to give room for the stick, and then also to like pop this little banner a little bit off of the front. And so today we're going to assemble the Welcome Baby one, which I have set aside here. I've got a package of paper cake pop sticks. I have my foam pop-ups. These are the Barely Art brand cubbies, and in this pack is the 1/8 inch tall and the 1/4 inch tall. On the Happy Birthday one, I used the 1/8 inch tall ones, not realizing that I didn't grab the 1/4 inch ones. I would recommend a taller foams, like the 1/4 inch is going to work better for popping the space for the stick. I also have my hot glue gun here warming up, and then I've got a weeding tool to help get the protective cover off of those. You will also need glue or a tape runner. You can use a combination of both. For the letters, I'm going to recommend glue. This is very small and delicate, so using a tape runner might tear just the force of doing this. So I have my Barely Arts Precision Craft Glue that I'm going to use to glue the letters down and the other pieces that we're going to assemble. Again, you could use a tape runner if you want, but just be very careful when you're doing that. This is a very delicate piece, and I did do it in paper so that I could show you what it looked like and that it's possible, but there's some very small bits, and you really need to make sure you're using high quality paper as well as a really sharp blade and the right cut settings, you could always do this as a print and cut on this little banner piece if that's going to work better for you, or if you have some adhesive vinyl and a coordinating color for what you're trying to do. And I cannot get the lid off of this. So I'm going to swap my glue lid on here, and we're going to start by gluing Welcome Baby onto the white little banner piece. So I'm just gonna add a small amount of glue. Again, it's a small piece, so we just want to make sure we get it glued down, but not too much squeezing out. Again, the Barely Art Craft glue dries clear, and we can always use our glue eraser if we have a little bit extra squeeze out. So I'm going to go ahead and position this right here and press that down. And then get our little baby. Press that down nice, and then I'm just going to set this aside to dry while we do some other parts. Make sure I get this. Plug up my glue so it doesn't dry out. Okay, so what we have here are, I've got a coordinating color for the daisy petals. I've got yellow, which is going to be our background piece here. And that's going to give us the center. And then I also have an extra white piece that I cut. And this is going to be the back where we're going to sandwich our stick in between. So you could do this in yellow, you could do it in orange. I just happened to cut this piece in white. I did use textured cardstock, and I didn't flip it when I cut this because I was cutting other white pieces at the same time, so that's fine. The back of the cake topper is just going to be white with a little bit of less texture than the linen texture, since this has to go forward. So what we want to do is go ahead and get our orange and yellow pieces glued together. Again, you could use a tape runner for this part. That would be easy to do, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my glue. And then line this up. That craft glue gives us a little bit of wiggle room to make sure we get this positioned exactly how we want. Alright, that's pretty good. A little bit stuck down. And then I'm going to cap off my glue, and then I'm going to use the dots to pop up this banner. Now, you don't have to use dots for this part if you don't want that extra dimension, but I think it adds a nice touch. And then I'm going to take my little banner and line that up. And press it down on those little dots to make sure we get it nice and stuck. Now we want to hot glue our stick onto the backing piece. So again, I gotta make sure that I've got this the right direction so that it will line up in here. And then I have the paper cake pop sticks. You can get these at a local baking store. My local craft store carries them because they also carry some like baking and candy making things. And you can also, of course, find them online. So I'm gonna put this about center, and then I'm going to pipe a good line of hot glue here. Give it something nice to stick into. Make sure that this is straight. There we go. And we're gonna let that cure for a second while we put some more foam dots to separate the front from the back and give us a little bit of room there for the stick. All right, now we're just going to line up front here and give it all another really good press. Make sure you're touching all those foam squares to get everything nice and compressed. And there we have it. So you can see, again, on this I used 1/4 inch tall foam, and on this one I used 1/8 inch tall foam. So there's a little bit of a difference in the thickness here. So it'll work either way, but I do think the 1/4 inch tall works a little bit better to give it some more dimension. But either one is allowing plenty of room for this stick. And there we have our Daisy Pop cake toppers. Now, don't forget to check out the rest of the Daisy Pop collection. We have cards, banners, and a cupcake topper. Thanks for crafting with me today. I'll see you next time.